Hello, Revere, and welcome to our June show of the Revere Senior News with my co-host, Steve Fielding, Director of the Revere Senior Center, and yours truly, Morris Morris. Steve, you have a lot of things on your plate, so why don't you start off with one of them?
Okay, so for the appetizer, I'm going to lead off by talking about the Revere Rossetti Cowan Senior Center Health Awareness Day.
By the way, before we start, I don't remember we were talking about the vacation that we went to London to see Big Ben.
And Big Ben's on the mark, right on the mark.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
I can't see him.
Yep, he's looking good.
Okay.
All right.
We were going to talk about him, but go ahead.
All right, so our Senior Center Health Awareness Day, which is the fourth one that we've had over the last few years,
Right.
will be taking place on Thursday, June 14th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I encourage all seniors out there, including you, to attend because you'll be able to talk to healthcare professionals and other experts about your healthcare, your financial or social needs. Feel free to invite your senior friends, family, neighbors, and it's going to be a very informative event. Something a little bit different this year is that we're going to set it up downstairs, Morris, in the dining area. So we're going to split the dining area in half, and we're going to have booths set up, vendor tables, if you will, downstairs, so that people who are down there can feel free to peruse right there without having to go upstairs to the elevator. They can listen to the music you play.
Right.
It'll be a little bit more of a festive atmosphere.
I got to tell you, that's a great idea, and I could vouch for that because some people come in with walkers, some people come in with canes, some people have come in with a wheelchair, and they can't get around.
Yep.
But they can now. Well, we're going to do it downstairs.
Yeah, and
Great
I think,
idea.
Yeah, and I think that just to give you an idea at home, some of the people that will be attending is Mystic Valley Elder Services, several home health care agencies, the PACE program. We've invited our city nurse. We have several other agencies that are going to come down. Our Shine counselor. We're going to have information about all our health and exercise classes at the Senior Center, which is really where a core group of new people have come to the Senior Center. They may not participate in the everyday stuff, but they certainly participate in the health and exercise. So
What date is that again?
it's June 14th. It's a Thursday, and it's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you know, if you need information or you want to acquire more knowledge about who's going to be there, you can call the Rossetti Cowan Senior Center at 781-286-8156. You can watch Revere TV. It's been scrolled across Revere Community Bulletin on Channel 8 for the last month and a half. So the information is there. And like I said, you can call the Senior Center at the number you see on your screen, and you can ask for anybody on the staff, and they'll be able to give you the information.
Now I have a question for you. From 10 to 3 p.m., what's going to happen during a lunch hour when people want to eat? Will there be room for them down there?
Oh, sure. Sure, we'll make room. We'll make sure everybody has enough space. They can enjoy their lunch. And the nice thing is some of these, I would say most of these healthcare professionals that will be there, they'll have raffle jars and they always have a lot of giveaways. So it'll be a little bit better, I think, to have it downstairs.
Right. Do you have an idea what the menu is going to be that day?
I can tell you what the menu's going to be.
Because I'll tell you what, we might get a lot of people just to come in when they visit that. They can stay longer, have lunch there.
Well,
you.
Because I'm such a savvy director, Morris,
Go ahead.
I made sure that the menu was very good that day. So we have one of the favorites, Italian sausage with pepper
Oh,
and
great.
roasted potatoes on a French roll with lemon pudding and coffee, tea, or milk.
That's right. That's when the population of the Italian people increases at the Senior Center.
They sure do. Everybody loves the sausages. I don't know how healthy it is. I don't know if it's healthy living, but they are low-sodium sausages.
It's
They
good.
are from Bianco's, so everybody loves them. So that's a good thing.
It's great.
It's a good thing. All right, so let me just tell the folks at home what our health and exercise classes are. As you know, Morris, you know, we have kind of two groups of people. The
Yep.
people like in your age group are a little bit younger, between like 80 and 95 or 100. And they come and they relax to get out of their home. They have breakfast, snacks, coffee. They watch the movies. They play games. They play bingo. They kind of hang out and have a good time and socialize. The other folks are the health and exercise people, as I call them. And they come upstairs to the second floor, And these are the classes they take. These people are more mobile, and they're a little bit younger. They're between 65 and maybe 75, okay? So on Mondays from 9 to 10:30, 9:30 to 10:30, we have Tai Chi with Bill. It's a very, very popular class.
Could you tell me, as a layman, exactly what is Tai Chi?
Tai Chi is a very soothing, relaxing exercise program where you do certain motions and movement, and it increases your mindfulness and gets your whole spirit and your whole body into a relaxation. And Bill, he has waterfalls going and all kinds of stuff.
What did
like
it
that.
originate from, if I may ask you?
I'm not sure.
Neither am
Sorry,
I.
you got me there. So
No,
I'm sorry.
neither do I. No.
Anyway, so also right after that class on Monday from 10:30 to 11:30, we have core and balance / fall prevention with Sharon. Sharon has 3 classes a week: Mondays 10:30 to 11:30, Wednesday 10 to 11, and Friday 10 to 11. And every class is a little bit different, and it's 3 days a week because it's so popular. It helps people prevent falling. It helps people with their core and their strength and their balance. And that's basically a very, very good class for any senior to take. As you know, fall prevention is a very important thing in the life of a senior.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. Now, do you like Latin music?
I love Latin music. I love all kinds of
I know you
music.
do. I know you do. So on Tuesdays from 10:15 to 11, we have Miguel, who has Latin Gold. And what he does is he has exercise to the Latin beat, and it gets you very invigorated for the rest of the day. And it helps you limber up, and it helps get you unwound so that you can have a very productive and fruitful day. On Thursday, from 10:30 to 11:30, Morris, Nancy, who's been there for over 17 years, teaches a combination exercise and aerobics. And on Friday, we have a new one that's fairly new, chair yoga with Brianna. And that, I'm sorry, not Brianna, Bibiana, sorry, Bibiana. And that's Fridays from 11:15 to 12:15. And chair yoga is good for people who really aren't that mobile. She does a little bit of meditation, but you use a chair to hold yourself and your exercise. So I have to tell the folks at home, these are great classes, and we have a lot of people taking them, and I encourage you to come. You know, we're not just about bingo, we're not just about movies or dominoes, or listening to music by Morris. We have a lot of different things going on, okay? And I think that's a great thing. And we will be talking about your music because we're going to talk about the Senior Center in just a minute. So we're going to just go over some key dates, right? And then you and I are going to have a conversation.
Yep.
So for those interested, we have a movie club every Wednesday. We have up-to-date and classic music movies with a snack. And they're usually shown at 12:30 to 2:30, 3 o'clock on the 80-inch smart TV that we have in the dining hall. We have a computer class with Brenda. You need to call 781-286-8156. Ask for Camille, and she'll sign you up for a computer class. We have both basic and advanced. If you're interested in learning how to use an iPad, we also have that available. And that depends on how many people we have. We'll do one-on-one as well. If you have a phone, we'll teach you how to use a phone. So a lot of seniors need help and assistance on how to use a smartphone, and we can certainly help you with that. The book club takes place every third Thursday, June 21st. Revere librarian Janice Van Hoekeman from 2:30 to 3:30 will be discussing books. I don't know what the book is this month. I believe they just did Master Thieves, which was about the Isabella Gardner Stewart Museum heist.
Oh.
And we also had the author of that speak at the Senior Center, and that was hosted by the Revere Library. We have a special monthly luncheon, and you've been to all of them. Carol Lasseri is a singer. That's June 21st, 12 o'clock. Entertainment at 1, $4. You have to call a day in advance. We need to know. 2 more dates, Morris, and then we can go into our discussion. Blood pressure with Carol Donovan on the 7th and the 21st from 11 to 12. You know Carol very well.
Oh, she's a great nurse.
She is a great nurse, and she comes and she takes blood pressure. These are all free of charge, by the way. And we have hearing with Mary Marino. I think this month she's coming twice, the 18th and the 19th from at 12 o'clock. We have Barbara McDonald, our chair masseuse from, on Mondays actually, June 11th. She's usually there at 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then we have the podiatrist that comes the first Wednesday of the month. And this month in June, it will be June 6th. Those are the key dates. So we have a little bit of time now.
Right. You know, before we went on the air, we discussed about the Rossetti Cowan Senior Center. And I believe, how long has it been since they opened it up?
Well, the Rossetti Cowan Senior Center in this building,
Right.
okay.
That was
a
the old telephone building.
It was the old telephone building, and it was also
Knights of Columbus.
the Knights of Columbus. And then it was owned by the city at that point, I believe. It's 20 years old this year. So
Right.
we're halfway through the year. If you read the Revere Senior Power, I wrote a little bit about the 20-year building that we have here. And you certainly know about it because you were there.
Right.
And I believe it was Mayor Bob Haas at the time
Right.
that was the driving force to create the senior center, correct?
Right. Yep. And I have to tell you, before the senior center, I was at the American Legion building. That's where we had our function. And then the people, when they moved to the senior center, came from there. So I'd like to mention some of their names, so we're going to discuss the history, if I may, as we go along.
Okay, that's great. I know that, and you probably know this, that there originally were meal centers in the city of Revere for seniors.
Right.
And I know it changed a little bit over the years, the locations, but I do know that on Revere Street there was a, you know where the cleaning company, the cleaners is? Downstairs is a kitchen on Revere Street, near Skin for All Seasons.
That's where we used to get the food.
That's where the food was made.
Right.
And that was one location. You said the American Legion was another.
Right. But the food was not made at the Legion.
No, it was delivered there.
Right.
Right, so these are the places it was delivered for seniors to pick them
Right.
up, right?
Yep.
St. Anthony's Lower Hall. If people are from Beachmont, you may recall there used to be a Boys and Girls Club where Kimberly Park is right now.
That I don't remember.
It was a white building. I forget what it was before the Boys and Girls Club, but I know that there was a meal center there. And the other one that I know of was at what is now Casa Lucia. It used to be the Italian-American Club. So I know at least those 5 locations is where the food was brought from Revere Street, like you said.
Right, and I have to tell you, I remember Helen Sorrell and Dutchie Goldberg were down at the American Legion, and when we moved to the Rossetti Cowan Senior Center, by the way, which is at 25 Winthrop Avenue now.
Right, right.
The building hasn't moved at all yet. It still remains
Well, it
there.
may have moved, but we're shaking there, I tell you that right now, especially when you play music.
You're right.
I think it's moving.
I don't know. But anyway, when we moved from the American Legion there, Helen Sorrell, Dutchie Goldberg, then Lillian Hibbert
Yep.
came in later on there, which was
Yeah.
great. And then there was the director who was also Al Morelli,
Morelli, right?
right? He was there about 35 plus years.
I replaced him. He was the original founder
Yeah.
of the Council on Aging Senior Center.
And
Yeah.
Maureen Souza.
Yeah, her I did not know, but I know that she was
But
there
I
a
know
long time.
one lady that did a lot and everybody loves her. Lois Diamond was there.
Diamond, yep,
Yep.
Lois Diamond.
Yeah.
Yep. And, you know, it's interesting. In our kitchen, we have 3 part-time cooks.
Right.
And out of the 3, 2 of them actually began at that location on Revere Street. And that's Loretta Papa
Right.
and Maria Licciardi. They were the original cooks.
How
So
you pronounce Maria's? I always call her Licciardi. Licciardi is her right
I
name?
guess that's the Italian in me, huh?
Oh, okay. She is a great cook, and so is they're both. I mean, they do this food at the Rossetti now, but they are terrific.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think Loretta's been there 23 years, and Maria maybe 21 or 22.
And we have a new lady that works there at the Rossetti, Anne Marie.
Anna Marie I hired, and she has been there, I believe, 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago.
Oh, I didn't realize she's been there that
Oh,
long.
yeah, yeah. So the Rossetti Cowan Senior Center is a brick building, as you know, and
Yeah.
we've, you know, since I've been there, we've done a lot of work. But I know that prior to it becoming the official site of the senior center, there was a large rehabilitation project that renovated it into what it is today. Actually, I have found pictures of it. I have a box that Al had left, and there are a lot of pictures in the box of the work that was being done prior to the grand opening.
Oh,
You know, there's a few names on the plaque in the lobby. It's a dedication plaque. You may know the president was an Anthony Padova.
Right, Tony Padova.
Yeah,
Yep.
I do remember. I didn't know him personally, but
I
you
knew
know, I
him
lived
personally. He was a
yeah.
great person.
Yeah, I remember seeing his picture in the paper all
Right.
the time. Now, one of the things I'd like to get some insight in from you is, so the senior center opens, it becomes more than just a mail center.
Well, when I first went there, they were just sitting around reading the newspaper or talking.
Yeah.
And they had a nice outfit of record players, cassette player, but nobody was doing anything there. And I happened to have a cassette in the car. So I went over to Helen Sorrell and I said, Helen, is it all right if I bring it in and play the music here? She says, what kind of music you got? Because some of the people don't like the more modern, they like the old. Me, I like from A to Z.
Right.
So I says, well, why don't we try it out and see what they say? I brought in the cassette. It was Latin music, Glenn Miller's music, Perry Como's, all the old timers, Frank Sinatra, Paul Anka. I put that on and they loved it. And they wanted them, and I think it was Tony Padova that said to me, can you come here tomorrow? I said, because I wasn't working, you know, I was working, but I was working different shifts. I said, sure, I could come in the morning.
Yep.
And I was invited to come, and I'd been with there for almost 40 years.
So you actually,
Even though they've been 20 there, I did it at the American Legion too.
so you were at the American Legion doing the same.
Doing
So-
the same thing that I'm doing now.
All right, so this is what I have to ask you, okay? So you started out with cassettes, and you probably eventually set up,
CDs.
well, you set up my, what do you call it? Speakers.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
And all that. Where'd you get the equipment for that? Did you use your own?
No, I bought it and put it in there, just like I did with the ones we got now.
Okay, so then you went from cassette player, right?
Yep.
To CD players?
Right. To burning CDs for people that would
Right.
ask me. But then when the computer came in, I didn't want to have nothing to do with the computer because I was afraid of it, like most seniors were. So I got to say thanks to Bob Dumbler at Revere TV, where I do the shows. I used to ask him, would you download this for me or download that for me? And he would do it.
Yeah.
And then one day he was so busy, he says, I don't have time. He says, but I'm going to show you how to do it. And he did. And once he got me started, I never stopped. So now I've downloaded over a million songs.
So-
And I play them for the veterans. I play them for the seniors.
Yep.
And it makes everybody happy.
So I know, because I see you, I'm with you every day just about. So I see you downloading on your Chromebook playlist
Right.
off the internet, and what you do is you customize it for individuals who come to the senior center.
Oh, yeah, I make their own playlists.
Yeah.
Like if you have a favorite song, for example, and you like Frank Sinatra and Perry Como and Buddy Morrow or whoever, Glenn Miller, Lawrence Welk, I'll put it on for you. Just tell me the name of the song you like and the artist, either one, or any song you like.
Well, you
that
know
you're
I like
playing.
country, and I asked you to play The Highwayman,
Right.
or I asked you to play, like, the other day I think I asked you to play the Stylistics. I like
Right.
I like the rhythm and blues and some soul
Right.
music too.
And then you asked me to play Dedication.
Dedication.
Yeah, and for a lot of the people that come to the senior center, I play Brahms' Lullaby.
Yep.
Because they're sleeping, you know, puts them to sleep
Absolutely.
there. But you know, you just gave me a good idea, and I hope you listen to it and put your 2 cents into it.
What's that?
On June the 14th, when they come, I'll be playing the music there.
Yes.
If any of them would like to learn or don't know how to learn how to work the download for their music and they have a computer, they can come over and see me. I would be more than happy to help them.
Yeah, maybe you could write it out for them.
And you would print it up.
I sure will. If you write it out, I'll put it in a Word doc, and then I can print them all out.
Right, but they can come over and see me exactly how I
Absolutely.
do it.
Yeah.
That would be good.
So the other question is, were you there during the dedication of this
Yes.
building?
Yes.
Now, from you may know this. When I took over from Al after he had retired, I found two
Excuse me,
pictures.
you came on my TV show before you were even director of it.
I remember that. I do. But I found two paintings. One is of Joseph Rossetti, and one is of Helen Cowan. Did you know them?
No, I'll be honest.
I
no.
understand that the center was named after them because they used to run senior trips,
Right.
and I guess that's how that
I
happened.
did not know them.
I didn't either, and but I know that in the 5 years that I've been there, you know, we've changed it up a little bit. We've done a lot of work. I won't go through all the work we've done internally, but I know that, you know, you're still a fixture there, and I hope for many more years to come.
Well, that's up to my creator.
Yeah, and And I do know that it's not just, and I write about that in the senior news, all right, the Revere Senior Power. Because if you come to the building, you'll see the banner out front. I put a banner out there that says Revere Senior Power and our phone number. And I also talk about it not being just brick and mortar. It's a place of activity. It's a place to have companionship. It's a place to have fun. It's a safe environment. We have a great staff. We have great seniors that come. We have great volunteers. I mean, you get paid weekly. I know that.
W-E-A-K-L-Y.
Right. And so without people like you, it wouldn't be what it is.
Oh,
I'm
we have a
serious.
lot of
You
fun.
do a great job. I know that majority of the people enjoy the music.
The majority
And
do.
I do. And I mean, the ones that complain, it's usually about the loudness, but I think at the same time, they don't appreciate the type of
Right.
music and the variety.
The only thing they don't like me for is because I tell them I do not play request unless I'm asked.
Right.
Right. If they don't ask me, I won't play it for them.
So, you know, we now have a very expanded senior center. It's now geared towards not just bingo anymore. It's a little bit different than when it first started out 20 years ago. Now there's all kinds of focus on health and exercise. Hence, we have the Health Awareness Day over the last 4 years.
Yep.
And we have a lot of health and exercise classes. And, you know, we have special guests come down, nutritionists, and we talk about turning 65 Medicare. We talk about changes to your Medicare card. And we have this show, which, you know, certainly provides info.
I would like to interject two things. We got about 6 minutes left. We also have a lot of things that we do for the veterans down there. We have Mr. Paul Monty come down there. We have Mr. Sandler come down, who wrote a book about Paul Monty's son, Jared C. Monty.
Right.
So we do things for everyone.
Yes, and in fact, speaking of veterans, you and 5 veterans came with me up to Wakefield High School
Right,
last week.
No, last month.
Last month. And you guys were one of at least 20 people that were honored
Yep.
at a beautiful ceremony, wasn't it?
There was Charles Mackin,
Right,
who's a World War II and Korean vet.
right.
There was
Nick?
Nick Jacoby, who's a Korean vet.
Right.
Paul Lozier, who's a World War II vet. Yours truly, who is a World War II vet. And one gentleman overslept, I hate to say this, but he was also a World War II vet.
That's right. So, you know, it's interesting. I mean, as I'm now I'm in my 5th year, we used to have a lot more veterans come.
Right, but you got to remember, the old timers, the World War II veterans are dying out about 500 a day. There's not too many left.
Right.
The Korean veterans are in their middle 80s or late 80s.
Right.
World War II are in their 90s. I just happen to be a young one,
Right.
but most of them are in their 90s.
Yeah, my dad was a Korean vet.
Right?
He passed away 11 years ago tomorrow, but today would have been his 88th birthday. Today.
So
So
I'm going to
you're
be
right about
89th
that.
of next month.
July 7th is
Right.
7th is Morris's birthday.
Yep.
Call him and
Next
wish him
month.
good well.
Next month.
Yes. So we will definitely honor you on that.
By the way, I did want to talk to you about something, if I may, which is
Yes.
very important, but you could start off on it. It has to do with smoking and oxygen and fire.
Right. Well, it's a good thing. Smoking in the homes is dangerous and for seniors, regardless of whether you have oxygen tank or not.
Right.
But if you do have an oxygen tank at home, please do not smoke anywhere near that tank. All right? Smoke outside if you're going to smoke. Do not go near it. It's so dangerous. And unfortunately, people who take oxygen sometimes do smoke while they're taking the oxygen.
I've seen people who have, they call it emphysema, and then they're supposed to smoke, and they smoke, and they smoke, and they smoke, and it gets worse and worse.
Yes.
But
and
what are the bad things of having an oxygen tank with you when you're smoking?
well, what happens is, you know, the amount of oxygen in the air and the furniture and the clothing could be certainly affected.
Right.
That's for sure. And it makes it easier in that regard for a fire to spread. You know, it doesn't take much. Sometimes it just can be a fume. It doesn't have to be an actual lit, you know, fire to start or you know.
Actually, you shouldn't smoke in the home at all, because a lot of the old seniors, I'm talking about elderly people, they'll smoke and they'll fall asleep. The cigarette falls or
Right.
whatever out of their hand, and the rest is history.
That's right. So, I mean, if you have matches, lighters,
Yep.
cigarettes, electric razors, hair
Candle.
dryers, heaters, don't let them go near the oxygen tank at all. I mean, those are heat sources, and that could severely affect or even cause a fire.
Right.
You know, so if you're going to smoke at home, which I hope you don't, nobody should be smoking in this day and age. They should be educated enough not to. Disconnect the oxygen tank. Wait 10 minutes before you light up, and go outside. I mean, at least go outside.
Right. You shouldn't even smoke in the house at all.
No.
And if people come into your house, you can be very nice and tell them, please do not smoke, or step outside and have a smoke like they do in some places.
Don't forget that oxygen, even though you might be using it on your face, it adheres to
gets on
your
your
clothes,
right.
and your body.
On your hair.
Yeah, well, in your case.
No, not in my case. Okay.
But, I mean, you have to wait. Oh, you shouldn't even smoke. But, I mean, if you have to do it, I mean, you have to wait a few minutes because remnants are still there. It gives the oxygen time to burn off, if you will. I shouldn't use that expression, but dissipate, I guess. As a reminder, I just want people to know again, June 14th.
Right.
It's a Thursday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Rossetti Cowan Senior Center, 2018 Health Awareness Day.
And it's free.
Of course it's free. Almost everything at the Senior Center is free.
Right.
The only thing that isn't free is the lunch, which is $1.50. Can't go bad with that.
And they have to call a day in advance.
They do. And our shuttle is only $1 each way.
Right.
And you have to register for the shuttle. So, as you know, that's a lifesaver in itself, too. You know?
That would be great.
Yes.
So, you know, we have about a minute and a half left, so you take a minute and let me do
Well,
that.
first I want to thank you for being the host. I think this is our 35th show or 36th show.
I
think
never kept track.
I try to, and I think it's very close. So that's almost 3 years worth of shows.
Right.
I'll never catch up to your veteran show, though.
Oh, sure you will.
But thank you for coming to the Senior Center every day and being part of the 20th
Right.
anniversary. I mean, I know you were there well before it was the Rossetti Cowan Senior Center.
And I got good news or bad news, the way you want to take it before we go up the air. On June the 14th, since we're going to be from 10 to 3, and I get there about 9 o'clock, I will give you the entertainment from 9 to 3.
That's
so you got,
that's
I'll
fantastic.
have you all day.
Oh, that's great. That's really good.
Is that okay?
And, yeah, and I think it will make a big difference having the music and having the lunch there at the same time.
Right.
So please, seniors, call your friends, neighbors, family members. Let them know about the Health Awareness Day. Let them know about the Senior Center itself. Come
Right.
on down. Just stop by.
Right, coming down, you'll enjoy it. You'll be coming every time once you come once.
And let me tell you something. You will be welcome. We have a whole different atmosphere over the last few years, and you will be welcomed and you will enjoy it.
Okay, and I want to say, Steve, it was a pleasure having us on together again.
Thank you.
Right, and thank you people for listening, and God bless our troops, and God bless the people of Revere, and especially God bless our great country, the United States of America, and thank you for listening. Till next time.